Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am thrilled to have back on again Max Lamont. He has just shared a brand new single called The Last Day of June, and I'm super excited to have him back on. Max, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy life and doing things, for being here. How are you? What's up? What's
Oh,
news?
dude, I'm so good. I'm super excited to be back and talk to you. I've been just literally wanting to catch up. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's always a
been
pleasure. It's been nearly 2 years, and that's 2 years too long. So,
yeah,
and I'm sure there's a million things that have been happening between now and then.
so
Um,
much.
Obviously, I want to talk about the song, and we will get to that. But it sounds like you've got some pretty pressing updates. So let's just catch up. What's been happening?
Well, let's see. I
Yeah.
we talked last time in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2023, which is
Yes.
crazy. That flew
Like
by.
feels like 10 years ago, just
I
about.
know. Um, but I was able to go to my first Grammys in 2022.
Oh shit, that's
And
fun.
that was super cool. It was in Vegas, and I was just like, this is happening right now.
Yeah.
And and the Grammys this year were great too. I
Awesome.
yeah, that's been like such a highlight of everyone I've been meeting in LA, and just just being able to see like the artists that inspire me perform and work with them and the people that they work with too,
Yeah.
and just like finally being able to feel like, okay, this is the beginning,
I'm in the room. I'm going to
yeah.
be telling this story 10 years from now, hopefully less,
Yes,
but you know what I'm saying. If
yeah,
anything, that's inspiring because you literally, you're surrounded by the people that you listen to all day.
right.
And that's amazing. I have not had the opportunity, hopefully one day, but I can't imagine like kind of like the pure adrenaline of just being there and like watching the machine happen year after year. That's super cool.
Oh yeah, you know when it's like during the movie you hear someone talking, it's just like, shh, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I was definitely
Just
that person.
picking
Like,
up every
no, I am not
conversation.
talking, I am listening for
Very
sure.
cool. Nice. Okay, so you've been doing cool things like that. You've obviously been making music. There's been a ton happening in between then and now. But let's fast forward to today, and you've got this song out. By the time this will come out, the song will be out, and it's
Yeah.
called The Last Day of June. And my first impression really is like, not to, I obviously don't want to discount the rest of your work, but this feels really mature, like more mature
Mm.
in a way. Like obviously there's been growth and you're always learning and the production values raised and stuff like that. But like even instrumentally, like you made massive strides from the past. And so I want to hear it from you. Like, what's this one all about? What inspired it, I suppose.
Um, the maturity aspect sonically was definitely intentional.
Yeah.
Because I spent some time after I felt so weird, like almost I to be honest, I almost felt like a failure, like because I had only put out one song in
Okay.
2022, and it was a good song. It meant a lot to me, but it
Sure.
was like it was still just I didn't quite feel it was all the way there. I was even when I was making it, I was like, "Oh, well, how are people gonna feel about this thing that I
Yeah.
do and this?" So I took I didn't take a break from music, but I really did just start I kind of changed my idea about how I was going to start making music, and I was like, just make it. Just do it. If it sounds good, then
Sure.
it's good, you know? And that that put a lot of confidence in myself to say, I'm just going to bet on what I do, you
Yeah.
know? And that kind of helped me go down a path of just creating a new sound. So I was like, I want to make everything sound like it's just a party, even if the lyrics are kind of depressing. And it's we're just gonna make sure that I have a sound. You hear something
Right.
like this, it's Max Lamont, and
Yeah.
there's no catering to what anybody else feels within my music.
I
You know,
agree. And that's what it's all about. And I may have even mentioned this last time, but like if you're the person spending the time and the effort and the money and everything that goes into making a single song, if it's not something that you want to play in your car, like then what's the point?
Right.
Then you're not like checking your own boxes. You're just doing things for everyone else. And I
Yeah.
understand how that can be a thing. It's like, well, if you listen to what's on the radio right now, you'll hear the same song 40
Mhm.
separate times a day. But then what makes you different? And that's, you know what I mean? That's hard to stand out. So I get it.
Yeah. And I think my biggest thing was realizing that that's not selfish. It's not
No,
because
no, absolutely not.
yeah, you are like as creatives, I firmly believe that our ideas are not our own. So it's like what you felt in the moment when you came up with the song or when you were writing, when you were playing, whatever you were doing
Yeah,
that helped this song drop in your lap, it's not really yours. It's like you were chosen to have this idea
sure.
and you have to try to communicate that feeling as best as possible. So trying to change it to be like, "Oh, this is what everyone's going to really want to hear and this and that." It's like, "No, no. Capture the moment. Capture what it was really all about."
I love
And
that.
that's what I've really been on, and this song is definitely the epitome of making sure that I was confident in performing that.
And that's inspiring for any independent artist, truly. Like, no, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it for, you have to kind of follow in those footsteps. I really enjoy that.
Mhm.
Um, Now, obviously, like you said, that you think you had some problems with the last song, or maybe second guessing yourself. I guess, how did you approach this one differently? Like, is it a minor change in the process from like how you typically start out a song, or did you just feel a different confidence going into it?
Um, both. Both for sure because
Cool.
I'm a total music theory nerd and I love
Okay.
chords and I'm like, "Oh, put it all in there, you know?" But this
Right,
song
right.
this song basically it has the same four chords and bass going on the whole time besides the bridge.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Let's try something different. Let's try to limit what I'm working with and what's the best outcome with that."
yeah.
So, that's kinda how that song came to be. And I was like, let's just work with what I've got and run with it,
Sweet.
you know,
No, that's
instead of
all you can
overthinking
do,
it. Yeah.
really. One thing that I am finding in all of your music, which definitely adds on to that like signature Max Lamont feel, is that it's not just one thing. It's not just pop. It's not just pop with R&B elements. Like, it really like it pulls from so many different influences and inspirations. I'm sure what you listen to, but obviously your own thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you had to sort of put a label on what this is for someone that hasn't listened to your music before or even just this song, how what are you calling it? Like how what's the elevator pitch, I suppose?
I've been elevator pitching as alternative.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of stepping out of like, oh, look at me. I'm gonna be, a new pop star and R&B and I gotta be
Yeah,
sexy. It's like, no, no. Let's be for real for a second. This is me.
sure. Yeah.
I'm-
No, 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 man. Right there with
yeah.
you.
I just wanna make music and I wanna make it fun, you know?
Yeah.
So and that's why hopefully, despite what I'm talking about, I just hope that my music feel like brings that joy and excitement
Mhm.
because nothing there's nothing that like captures that feeling of just being excited about music to me because it's like when you hear a song it's like you that that urge to just get up and dance to just move even a little bit or
Yeah,
sing along, if I know
totally.
that if I show one of my songs to somebody who I know will like it, people have their different tastes.
Sure, sure.
But if I show my song to somebody and there's nothing, I'm like, okay, yeah, I might have to go back
Something
to the drawing board.
something's wrong here. I can't imagine that that happens too often. There, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, I try to make it funky, I
Sure,
try to make
sure.
it like, there's no way,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I will say the first thing that stood out to me, like, well, it's always your voice that sticks out because that feels like the binder of the song. But the drums on this track specifically, like, popped like really hard and like
Thank you.
and like in the best way possible. They really make themselves apparent right at the forefront. It's like, and I always say this, if you're gonna listen to a good song, like put on a nice pair of headphones. Don't just listen out of your laptop
Yeah.
speakers or your phone or whatever. Like,
Please, PSA.
yeah, yeah, that should really put that on a t-shirt for
Yeah.
everyone.
Put
But
on
yeah, no,
headphones.
really though, like the instrumentation is super like in your face, and I think it adds to the whole experience. And I'm sure like that was your thought process going in. It's like,
100%.
yeah,
That
how could
you
it?
don't yeah, you don't know how on the nose and satisfying that feels to me
Yeah.
to hear
And
that.
I'm not surprised. Like, there's no way that wasn't on purpose. But also some
Totally.
people when they listen to music, they excuse my language, they don't really give a shit. They're just like
Yeah.
they listen to music for the way that it makes them feel, rather than like, I don't care what you're saying. I just want to like
Right.
escape. And that's okay too.
That's totally okay.
Music is a tool for everyone. So that's
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's see. Okay. So last time we spoke, concerts were very up in the air. This was like 2021. No one knows what the hell was happening.
Yeah.
Still very much in the middle of madness. Um, is it something that has happened for you? Is it something that you have planned getting out there, playing live? Is it something you even want to do?
It's definitely something I want to do. Um, but I love creating in the studio environment,
Yep.
just especially because I produce my own music.
Yeah.
So I'm very particular with it.
Of
So
course.
the promise is that when I do start playing live consistently, it's gonna be an experience. It's not just gonna
Sure.
be, oh, like I'm playing a gig. Like, no, come see this
Yep.
because it's gonna the feeling that the music captures is gonna be what we're trying to execute live too. So
Totally.
getting the right people for a band and stuff like this, people who I trust for making an experience is bigger than just, setting up and playing live, even though that's cool and I've done that.
Sure.
Um, but I just feel a lot more it feels a lot more fulfilling when I know like, okay, for a second, this audience, I took them out of this world, you
Yep.
know?
No, I
So
fully agree, and I think the more complicated the music or the more complex it is, it's like, how do you get that into a live setting without disappointing people? You
yeah.
know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like, all right, obviously, like, we all have our own favorite artists. I'm not about to, like, name any, but I've been to a lot of subpar performances where I understand, yeah, the production is so
Mhm.
dense and there's a million things happening at once. How could you possibly ever recreate that with even the most talented band?
Right.
I think on your end, if it's something that's gonna happen in the future, and I obviously hope it does, that you spend the time and the resources to really, like, get it on that level, and it's so difficult. You can't just be out there as one person. So,
Yeah. No, trust me, I've always been all or nothing. That's been like a constant phrase for me. It's like literally all or nothing. If it's not to the standard that I think it needs to be at, then what's the point?
no,
Because then it's
man,
just gonna be disappointing.
don't rush it either, just because 'cause
Yeah.
you're being urged to. I wanna talk a little bit about the future. So, obviously the music is out. It's been in the works for a while. Are you the type of artist that has things in the bank, like demos, half finished projects, or
Yeah.
maybe some things that we could even like potentially hope to see in the near future?
Near future is a definite yes.
Cool.
I'm my thought process has been like, okay, a little I've been lacking a little bit, but the whole point was to spend that time making stuff so
Right.
that when I'm ready to release stuff, it's just one after the other. So, expect more very soon is all
Cool.
I'm gonna say on that.
Any path of experimentation. Obviously, I know you're very particular in the sense of it has to sound like you,
Yeah.
but and you don't have to say too much, you really don't. Are we gonna hear anything different potentially?
Um, I'll actually expound. Just
Please.
funky. I want to I've been making stuff that's just funky and fun, and it's just like I want to make stuff that is like it's just a party. It
Yep.
needs to sound like a party. It needs to sound like an experience. It's going back to like how I want it to feel when playing live. That's
Yeah,
how it should feel when you put on those headphones. Put on
yes.
those headphones. Please put on the headphones.
Please do.
But
I really can't say it enough. Like if you're not,
yeah.
you're wasting your own time.
Yeah, but
So
it's it's definitely a lot more it's diving more into the sounds that have inspired me.
yeah,
It's not just like, oh, well, this is in, so I got to put this in the song. Like, no, I want to make it feel like Stevie, Michael,
of
even
course.
early Maroon 5,
Oh yeah,
you know, there's a lot of inspirations for me that have culminated into the music that I've been making lately, and um, I've tried to make sure that it's known.
cool. In a similar like realm and place, what are some things that you'd like to see happen by the end of this year? Obviously, no rush, but like even some goals that you're like, yeah, that would be great if that happened. I think it's possible.
To be honest, I haven't even thought about like goals just because I've been working on the music so much. But I
And that's
mean,
not that's not a bad thing, not to interrupt you, but like if you're actively doing stuff, it's okay to not think months down the line.
yeah, and that's weird because that's not like the kind of person I am. I'm
That's
always
cool.
thinking like, yeah, by 2042, we got to do this, and we got
God.
to,
Well, that's just yeah. Okay.
I'm always like that. So it's you kind of shocked me right there,
Yeah.
uh, just by myself. But I'm honestly the best feelings that I've gotten in the past like 2 years has been people that I look up to really liking my music and
Yeah.
have like getting their feedback. I got to meet Harvey Mason Jr.
Cool.
Last year, and that's just super cool. I'm like, dude, I know so many songs that you've produced. I'm like, No Air is still my jam, and I absolutely adore his work. So getting him hearing some of my songs and just giving me feedback and telling me that I was talented and all that, I'm like, that's all I need. So I'm like, really, I guess my only goal is just getting ears
Yeah.
that that I admire on my music.
Nice. No, that's a great goal to have. I've got a couple more for you. I want to know, similar to last time, what are you listening to these days? And does what you listen to have any impact on the music that you're making?
Um, I would say now more than ever. Uh,
Cool.
just because I'm like, I guess technically I'm doing a genre switch, and I'm like, okay, so what is this alternative world really all about? Like,
Sure.
who do I need to know?
Right, right.
And the thing is, I've been meeting so many people in this world. And I'm like, I feel like I finally found my niche, quote unquote.
Totally.
And I've just been listening to a lot of um like Wolfpack, Theo Katzman, Remy Wolf,
I
a
was not
lot.
expecting, sorry, those first two. Love them. Love them.
I
Totally into
Yeah,
that
no,
funky groovy aspect.
I'm just like going all into like who makes that really funky music
Yeah.
that is just undeniable. You know it right when you hear it.
Yep.
Uh and even some more like pop, people, but it's still just that undeniable sound. Bruno
Yeah.
Mars
Sure.
and new artists like Olivia Rodrigo. I absolutely love like what she's created with Dan Nigro,
Yeah.
and I think their work is just incredible. I love what she does lyrically. So I've been listening to her. I've been just kind of deep diving into a lot of new artists, and it might sound contradictory, but it all kind of falls into that like retro
No,
aspect.
I think it's supposed to be contradictory. You can't listen to the same genre of music all day long and expect to make different music from that.
Right.
Like if you're not listening to, it doesn't have to be like oddball, crazy out there music, but if you're listening to pop all day, you're only going to be a one-sided pop artist.
Right.
You got to expand your horizons and try a little bit of everything because then what you make is unique. It's like this
Right.
huge soup of music that's just like different. So I,
Yeah, I
I
want my
love
music to
that.
feel like soup. Yeah.
Just like a good hearty winter soup. Isn't that much to
Yeah.
ask? Like, Totally.
That's the new elevator pitch.
There you go. You like soup, you're gonna love my
You're
music.
gonna love this.
You're gonna love this. Awesome. Okay. My last question for you here is it's the same question I wrapped up with last time, but it's basically for the person that is going to discover you from this, what is an opening message you'd like to say to them before they listen to your music for the first time?
um, be yourself, because I think that's what sonically and lyrically, my music is all about, especially now.
Yeah.
Um, it's an open invitation to being yourself, unapologetically.
Perfect.
That's what it is. And gosh, I feel good because I remember the last time you asked me that question, I had to think.
Yeah.
But now it's definitely a known of like this this is this is the invitation to completely be yourself, and you know what the hell what anybody else thinks. This is what it's all about. Have
That's
fun.
it. It shows
Have fun.
growth. It's all about growth and maturity. That's awesome, man. Max, this has been such a great conversation. It's seriously always a pleasure to talk to you. Please let me plug your music for you one more time here.
Of
If you
course.
guys missed it the first time around, the song is called The Last Day of June. It is out now. We will have the links in our articles so that you can listen and share and follow along. And generally, just stay tuned for more. It sounds like there's a lot in the works in some
It's
capacity,
the works. You didn't hear it
a
from me.
lot in the works.
Of
And yeah, thank you so much, man. This has been awesome.
course, dude.
Cool.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
All right. Take care. We will speak soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
See you, man. Thank you.
Awesome. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.